Well, today we're going to dive on into polynomials. We need to get some terminology down before we go forward, some things that we need to understand. So you've written down the things that are on the screen in front of you so far. A monomial, we've already talked about, basically. A monomial can have a numerical component, that being like a number, positive or negative. It can be just a variable, or it could be both. So a monomial is a constant, a variable, or a product of both. Now, there are other terms. Monomial, mono means one. Binomial is the sum of two unlike monomials. So basically, two terms is a binomial. So if two terms is a binomial, three terms is a trinomial. So we can define that by saying the sum of two unlike monomials, or the sum of three unlike monomials. The next part you want to pay really close attention to, we're talking about a monomial can have a degree. Here's what we mean when we say the degree of a monomial. It's the sum of all the exponents within the term. For example, 4x to the third power. I have an exponent of 3. So the degree of 4x to the third power is 3. It has a degree of 3 because I'm looking strictly at that exponent. Look at this next monomial, 4x to the third power y squared, or 4x cubed y squared. It has an exponent of 3 and an exponent of 2, so its degree is 3 plus 2. I'm just adding those exponents, or 5. So we would say 4x to the third power y squared has a degree of 5. Now, not only do monomials have degrees, so also do polynomials. The polynomial here, 4x to the third y squared plus 5x squared y plus 6x, it has a degree, and it's the largest term. It's the degree of the largest monomial, or the largest term of the polynomial. Well, let's look at each term and its degree. 4x cubed y squared has a degree of 5. 4x squared y has a degree of 3. How did I get 3 out of this one? Remember, y has an exponent of 1, whether we write it there or not. So if there's a variable there, you have 1 to add. So this would be 2 plus 1, or 3. So that has a degree of 5, this has a degree of 3, and this has a degree of 1 because it's 6x, and it'd be x to the third, or first power, to the first power. So the greatest degree is this very first term, and that degree is 5. So the degree of this entire polynomial, we would say, is 5, because we look at the degree of the largest monomial's degree. So we're looking at the greatest degree in the polynomial. We look at each one separately. So again, 4x cubed y squared has a degree of 5. Therefore, we would say this polynomial has a degree of 5. Well, that's pretty easy. Let's talk about the standard form of a polynomial. Write this one down. To put it in standard form, we're just going to arrange the polynomial in order of degree from the greatest to the least. Notice that I have in 4x to the fourth power, that has a degree of 4. This is a little tricky. The number 7. What is its degree? Actually, we would say it has a degree of 0 because there's no variable there. Okay, so that one's a little tricky. 7's degree is 0. If it were 7x, then it would have a degree of 1. But there's no variable, and we're talking about the degree or the exponent of the variable. How about 5x squared y? The degree here, 3. So we have 4, 0, 3. And the last degree, 6x to the fifth, it has a degree of 5. So if I put those in order, I want to put 5 first, 6x to the fifth, then 4x to the fourth, then 5x squared y, because it has 3, and the one that has 0. So there they are in order. That is the standard form. We just want to write it from the greatest degree to the smallest degree. And then when we do that, we want to look at what is the leading coefficient of this polynomial. Well, if it's in standard form, it's the coefficient of the first term. Well, the first term is 6x to the fifth in standard form. So the leading coefficient is 6. Remember, coefficient is what we multiply the variable by. So our leading coefficient there, 6. Any questions? So let's go through a few and see how you do. All right, so here's what I want to know. In this first chart, my goal is to name the type of polynomial. My choice is monomial, binomial, trinomial. Those are my 3 choices. When it gets above 3, we just call it a polynomial. And if it's not a polynomial at all, we would say it's not one. It's a none. And then I want to know the polynomial's degree. All right, so looking at the first one. Yes, sir.
It would be binomial.
Yes, sir. It'd be a binomial. And what is its degree? Do you know? What do you think? What? 5. Yeah, very good. So it has a degree of 5. Awesome. Look at the next one. 6x to the third, 4x squared, 3. Yeah. All righty. So what is this one? Is this a, hold on, let's get somebody else who hadn't answered. Yes, ma'am. Trinomial. Absolutely. What is its degree? Do you know? 3. Perfect. Has a degree of 3. All right. The next one's a little bit tricky. What is it? Yes, sir. Yeah, it's a monomial. Good. And it has a degree of what?
0.
0. Absolutely. Look at the next one. 8a. Yes. Yes, ma'am. It is what? Monomial. Do you know its degree? Yes, degree of 1. All right, look at the next one. Austin. I'm giving you a tricky one. You're going to get this one wrong if you're not real careful. What do you think? Now, let me give you a hint so that you don't get it wrong. Remember, we have to simplify if we can. If we have like terms before we can really identify it, we have to simplify. Is there anything we can add or subtract or combine? Yeah. So if I did that, I would get 5x plus 4, right? So now, thinking of 5x plus 4, what is it? Monomial, binomial, or trinomial? Yes, binomial. So that was kind of tricky. and that'd be 5x plus 4 when we simplify it. What is its degree? It'd have a degree of 1. Correct. Yeah, because this x here has an exponent of 1, whether we write that or not. All righty. One last one here. Devin?
It would be monomial
Yes, sir.
with a degree of 2.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. All right, so let's take it to the next level. Look at this one. We're going to give you an expression or a polynomial. We want to put it in standard form, and I want you to identify the leading coefficient. So 9x squared plus 3x to the 6 minus 4x, degree of 2, 6x. Tina?
It would be 3x to the 6.
Yes.
9x squared minus
Right. 3x to the 6 plus 9x squared minus 4x. So that's pretty simple. Leading coefficient then is what? 3 is correct. It's the coefficient of the first term in standard form. Or look at the next one. Put it in standard form, Devin.
X, 8x, y squared plus 6x, y plus 5y plus 12.
Absolutely. Very good.
And the leading coefficient is 8.
Yes, and leading coefficient is 8. So perfect. All right. Georgia.
5y squared minus 4y plus 2 with a leading coefficient of 5.
Perfect. Outstanding. Maverick. Put them in order, my friend.
6x and 7x squared plus 8.
Let's go through and check the degree. What's the degree of 6x? Yeah, the degree. What's the variable? Oh, excuse me. What's the exponent on the variable? Well, if it's not there, it's a 1. Right. Remember, anything raised to the 0 power is just 1. So it wouldn't be that, but it would be to the first power, x to the first. So it has a degree of 1. That has a degree of what? 2. And this has a degree of 0. So which comes first? You want the highest degree. That has a degree of 0. Yeah, so it'll be negative 7x squared, then 6x, then 8. What's my leading coefficient then of this polynomial? Yeah, negative 7. Got to be careful there. Don't forget it's negative. Last one. Go ahead.
X to the 5th power plus x to the 3rd power minus x plus 3.
Yes, sir.
And leading coefficient is
1. Outstanding. All right, good job. All righty, so I want to just wrap that up. Those are just basically the terms and the basic fundamental portions and definitions of polynomials. So we've learned monomial, we've learned binomial, we've learned trinomial, we've learned how to find the degree of a monomial or the degree of a polynomial, and we've learned what is the leading coefficient of a polynomial.